Dear students, welcome to the lesson on Once Upon a Time, a poem written by Gabriel Okara. Let's now look at the lesson plan of the presentation. The presentation includes an introduction about the author, introduction about the poem, and a recitation of the poem, stanza-wise meaning analysis, literary devices used in the poem, questions, summary, and references used for this presentation. Let's now look at the details of the poet. About the poet, his full name is Gabriel Okara. He was born on April 24, 1921, at Bumaundi in Yanagawa, Bayelsa State, Nigeria, an African country. He died on March 25, 2019. Some important details about Okara. He was a Nigerian poet and a novelist, the first modernist poet of Anglophone Africa. He is well known for his early experimental novel, The Voice, published in 1964. His other famous works, Poetry, The Fisherman's Invocation, published in 1978, The Dreamer, His Vision, published in 2005. In both his poems and his prose, Okara drew on African thought, religion, folklore, and imagery. According to Brenda Mary Osby, editor of his collected poems, it is with the publication of Gabriel Okara's first poem that Nigerian literature in English and modern African poetry in this language can be said to have begun. This poem is included in his book The Fisherman's Invocation, published in 1978. Now let's look at the basic details of the poem Once Upon a Time. About the poem, Once Upon a Time is a free verse poem. It has 43 lines broken up into 7 stanzas. It focuses on a father's concern over the cultural changes occurring in the African society due to the influence of Western culture. This poem shows the contrast between the old culture based on values such as friendliness, genuineness, love, kindness, etc., and the modern culture based on the materialistic things and artificial relations. In the poem, the father addresses the son, telling him in a rather nostalgic manner how things used to be in his childhood or in the olden days. The father, at the end of the poem, wants to return to the old world with the help of his son, who is exhibiting that innocence and good smile. The themes are how society changes, cultural shift, capitalism, values. The tone of the poem is ironic, nostalgic, memory of good old incidents. Perhaps the speaker knows deep inside that he'll never regain that purity. He won't be able to turn back time and relive life as a transformed person. The speaker's wishes are a fantasy. Let's now read the total poem Once Upon a Time. Poem. Once upon a time, son, they used to laugh with their hearts and laugh with their eyes. But now they only laugh with their teeth, while their ice block cold eyes search behind my shadow. There was a time indeed they used to shake hands with their hearts, but that's gone, son. Now they shake hands without hearts, while their left hands search my empty pockets. Feel at home. Come again. they say, and when I come again and feel at home once, twice, there will be no thrice, for then I find doors shut on me. So I have learned many things, son. I have learned to wear many faces, like dresses, home face, office face, street face, host face, cocktail face, with all the confirming smiles like a fixed portrait smile. And I have learned too to laugh with only my teeth and shake hands without my heart. I have also learned to say goodbye when I mean good riddance, to say glad to meet you without being glad, and to say it's been nice talking to you after being bored. But believe me, son, I want to be what I used to be when I was like you. I want to unlearn all these muting things. Most of all, I want to relearn how to laugh, for my laugh in the mirror shows only my teeth like a snake's bare fangs. So show me, son, how to laugh. Show me how I used to laugh and smile once upon a time when I was like you. Now, let's try to analyze the poem stanza wise and try to understand the key concepts discussed in each stanza. Stanza 1. Once upon a time, son, they used to laugh with their hearts and laugh with their eyes, but now they only laugh with their teeth while their eyes block cold eyes search behind my shadow. Analysis of this stanza. The first line of the stanza, Once upon a time, son, suggests that this poem is going to be based on a story. It may be a kind fairy tale or even from his life experience, nostalgia. The speaker is addressing his son. It's like a father beginning to explain how things used to be in the past and how they changed in the present. The speaker says that the people in the past used to laugh with their hearts and eyes. It means their laughs were genuine. There were no fake smiles. In contrast, laughter in the present is more of a show of teeth. The eyes are cold and looking for something other than the real person. In the first stanza, the present is being judged by the past. The speaker prefers the attitudes of the people from the past. He expresses his displeasure over the present change. Now, let's read stanza 2 and try to analyze it. Stanza 2. There was a time indeed they used to shake hands with their hearts, but that's gone, son. Now they shake hands without hearts while their left hands search my empty pockets. Analysis. Shaking hands is a symbol of greeting others. It can be any other gesture also, like namaste or bowing the head or moving one's hands. The speaker says that the art of shaking hands has also changed in the present age. In the past, a greeting was genuine. A person greeted wholeheartedly. The handshake had life in it. Friendliness was expressed through the handshake. But nowadays, people shake hands with one eye on your financial and social status. People are no longer genuinely warm towards others. They shake hands are without heart. People are on the make, wanting to get something from you. This is what indicated by the line, while their left hands search my empty pockets. Now let's read stanza 3 and try to analyze it. Stanza 3. Free at home, come again, they say, and when I come again, and feel at home once, twice. There will be no thrice, for then I find doors shut on me. Analysis. The third stanza tells about the changes in the way of welcoming guests. In the earlier days, people used to welcome guests wholeheartedly. They used to treat them with love and good heart. People used to insist upon their guests to stay longer genuinely. In the present days, people invite others to their homes depending upon the need and importance. Once the need is over, they want to get rid of their guests. Though outwardly they say, come again, they actually don't mean it. They do not want their guests to stay longer or come again and again. All the social relations have become practical and artificial, lacking genuineness. Now let's read stanza 4 and try to analyze it. Stanza 4. So I have learned many things, son. I have learned to wear many faces, like dresses, home face, office face, street face, host face, cocktail face, with all their confirming smiles, like a fixed portrait smile. Analysis. The first three stanzas outline the speaker's perception of changing culture and attitudes and values in his country. This fourth stanza describes how the speaker himself had to change and learn in order to comply. He uses a comparison, faces to dresses, to highlight the various personas he took on, all the while smiling. The repeated use of face affixed to various places and situations is highly visual. This poem shows how easily the modern man is changing his faces conveniently and exhibiting an artificial smile without genuine feel. This poem highlights the mechanical life of modern man compared to the natural life of the older generation. Now let's read stanza 5 and try to analyze it. Stanza 5. And I have learned to laugh with only my teeth and shake hands without my heart. I have also learned to say goodbye when I mean good riddance, to say glad to meet you without being glad, and to say it's been nice talking to you after being bored. Analysis. The speaker continues to tell how he has transformed himself according to the modern times. He also learned the art of giving handshake without any heart and smiling just with the teeth artificially. He has also learned how to deceive people with his farewells and welcomes and false politeness. The overall message of the stanza is that the speaker also has become an integral part of this new culture which he is criticizing. Now let's read stanza 6 and try to analyze it. Stanza 6. But believe me, son, I want to be what I used to be when I was like you. I want to unlearn all these muting things. Most of all, I want to relearn how to laugh. For my laugh in the mirror shows only my teeth like a snake's bare fangs. Analysis. The sixth stanza again changes the tone of the speaker. He expresses his regret over his own change. He wants to become the person of old times. The speaker is not happy with his present personality. He wants to regain a former innocence which is still visible among the children. The speaker no longer wants to practice the artificial methods of human relations. He doesn't want to continue in the modern culture. That word muting means to deaden in this context. He no longer wants to be with artificial diplomacy or silence. The speaker fears looking at himself in the mirror because when he smiles, his teeth look like the fangs of a snake. This means his smile is no more genuine. It actually contains some poison in it. What he wants most is to be able to laugh in innocence again. Now let's read stanza 7, the final stanza, and try to analyze it. Stanza 7. So show me, son, how to laugh. Show me how I used to laugh and smile once upon a time when I was like you. Analysis. The final stanza of the poem shows the desire of the speaker. The speaker wants to become a clean person. He wants to get his genuine laughter back. The speaker requests his son to show him how to laugh as he used to laugh in his childhood. This means the speaker wants to regain the innocence and genuineness of his past life. The speaker wants to go back to his original culture, which encouraged openness and honesty before the Western culture entered. Thus, the poem ends with the strong desire of the speaker to get his genuine qualities back. The poem, Once Upon a Time, contains many literary devices. Let's try to understand them with examples. Literary devices used in the poem. First one, alliteration. When two or more words close together in a line begin with the same consonant, creating different sound textures, it is called alliteration. Example, hands without hearts, these muting things, so show me sun whenever. In these lines, you can see the consonant sounds hands, H, and heart, H. These things starting with T. So, show, and sun starting with S. The second literary device used in the poem is assonance. When two or more words are close together in a line and have similar sounding vowels, again creating different sounds, it is called assonance. Example, upon a time, sun. Like a fixed portrait smile, was like you, I want. If you observe the vowel sounds in the words upon, a time, sun, these are similar. And like a fixed portrait smile, like smile. And was like you, I want. The vowel sound in was and I want, they are similar. The third one is, and the third literary device is caesura, a break in a line where the reader pauses, usually through punctuation, is called caesura. Example, feel at home, come again. They say, and when I come. The fourth literary device is enjambment. When a line runs on into the next with no stop or pause, maintaining the sense, it is called enjambment. For example, the first two lines of this stanza, and I have learned to laugh with only my teeth and shake hands without my heart. The fifth one is simile. When something is compared to a different thing using the words like or as, that literary device is called simile. For example, I have learned to wear many faces like dresses. Here, the faces are compared to dresses, with all their conforming smiles, like a fixed portrait smile. Here, the conforming smiles are compared to fixed portrait smile. My teeth, like a snake's, bear fangs. Here, the teeth are compared to a snake's poisonous fangs. Let's now try to look at some questions and try to answer them with the understanding we got after going through the analysis of the poem. What's the tone of the poem? What's the overall message of the poem? What are the differences between the old society and modern society as narrated by the speaker? In what way the modern culture has changed the human beings? What is the final desire of the speaker or the poet? How does the speaker want to relearn the lost aspects of his behavior and culture? What are the different literary devices used in the poem? Summarize the thoughts of the speaker expressed in the poem. Let's now look at the overall summary of the poem, Once Upon a Time. Summary. Once Upon a Time is a poem written by Gabriel Okara, a famous Nigerian poet. Okara was considered to be one of the first modern African poets. He uses folklore, religion, myth, and social issues in his works. The present poem was extracted from his book, The Fisherman's Invocation. The poem captures a father's speech to his son. It focuses on a father's concern over the cultural changes occurring in the African society due to the influence of Western culture. This poem shows the contrast between the old culture based on values such as friendliness, genuineness, love, kindness, etc., and the modern culture based on the materialistic things and artificial relations. In the poem, the father tells his son how things used to be in his childhood or in the olden days. In the past, people used to laugh with their hearts and eyes. This means they used to laugh wholeheartedly and genuinely. In contrast, laughter in the present days is more of a show of teeth. The eyes are cold and looking for something other than the real person. The speaker says that in the past, people used to shake hands wholeheartedly. That is, their greetings were genuine. But in the present days, the people shake hands on one side and search in others' pockets on the other side. That means they greet others for their own selfish expectations. In the past days, people used to welcome guests wholeheartedly. But in the present days, the invitations are too practical and artificial. Outwardly, they may say, "Come again," but inwardly, they don't want others to come again. Outwardly, they may say, "Goodbye," but they actually mean good riddance. They say, "Glad to meet you," without even feeling glad. The poet regretfully says that he too has transformed his nature, influenced by the modern culture. He says that he too learned the way of wearing different faces for different occasions. He too learned to smile artificially like a smile in the photograph, but he expresses his desire to change his nature and go to the past days. He seeks the support of his son in this aspect. He says that he wants to laugh just like his son, who laughs innocently and genuinely. So the speaker asks his son to show how he used to laugh when he was in the age of his son. Thus, the poem presents the conflict between the old and modern cultures with a tone of nostalgia. Thank you very much.